Hey there, this is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with another Sonic Boom vlog. This one is Mech Suits Me. I like this episode, like, a lot. I'm not sure how much of me actually likes it, and how much of me was just impressed by the character design. Alright, so let's get into the synopsis. The episode starts with a chase sequence where we see all of Sonic's friends running through the jungle with puggle sticks, or puggle sticks. However, so those giant Q-tips that you use to hit people with, like in that old American Gladiators TV show when they tried to knock each other off those platforms. I'm wondering how many of you know what American Gladiators are. So they cut away to something that's looking at them in infrared vision, and we're pretty much outright doing a parody of Predator here. So Tails gets dragged into the underbrush, and before Amy can even react with a plan, she gets dragged into the underbrush too. So Sticks and Knuckles run up into the trees and start running along one of those conveniently walkway-shaped vine paths like you find in the video game. When they're stopped by Sonic, who says, "You didn't think escape would be that easy, did you?" What follows is actually a pretty cool sequence where Sonic, Sticks, and Knuckles have a fight with the Puggle Sticks until Sonic manages to knock first Knuckles and then Sticks off the platform, declaring himself the winner of Predator Hunts, or some kind of game like Predator Tag, Predator Hunts. They were playing Predator. When everybody is trying to decide who's going to be it next, Sticks says that she found something down below, and Amy says not to believe her because that's the oldest trick in the Predator book. Sonic says he's always been meaning to read the book, but Amy says that it was better than the movie, and Hollywood should really come up with original things instead of just using the same IPs over and over. And then there's way too long a pause where I just kind of sit there to let people contemplate the whole blah blah blah. Like yeah, I get it. This is like the 6th Sonic cartoon that's been put out there, and you're doing a parody of Predator to get the episode started. But come on, just because your ideas aren't original doesn't mean that you're just using the same shit over and over again. There's some originality in it. After all, like, you were basically doing an adaptation of one of your levels. That's kind of cool. Alright, so the pause is way too long. It really only needed to last like a second or two, but it lasts like 10 seconds. Like, Tails even awkwardly coughs while waiting for the camera to move. It's uncomfortable how long that was. Just like this little non sequitur. So, they go down to the caves where Styx was, and it turns out to be another cave carved out by the ancients. There's luminescent writing all over the walls. And apparently, all those sports tape bands that they wrap around themselves are luminescent, because when Tails pushes a button, they light up like a bunch of Christmas trees. It's not like their communicator watches are lighting up. There's like their entire bodies are emitting light. It's like this. They have luminescent sports tape. That's the only explanation. So they go into the cave, and Amy says that it was probably left by the ancients and that they should go in a certain direction. And when they ask if it's because of her expertise in archaeology, she says no, it's because it's a big arrow pointing in a certain direction. So when they go deeper into the cave, they find this old mech suit half buried in the rubble, and Sonic notes that it's kind of shaped like him. Like the cockpit windows kind of shaped like his mono eye, and it has spikes on its back that from profile view look like Sonic's spines. So yeah. So Sonic, of course, climbs into it and starts walking around. When they get to the mouth of the cave, they find that a force field has been erected, and it turns out that Eggman is gloating, saying that he trapped them in there. I hope that the whole time they were playing their Predator game, they were being spied on by his camouflage spy bot. And Knuckles like, wow, that's a really good camouflage. And Eggman looks, oh, no, he's over there. And then there's this big, obvious, round fly robot holding a stick up. And then it moves the stick out of the way to wave at them. I like that joke. It's a cliche joke, but I like it. Like I said, it's entirely possible for you to use old gags and still put them around with a new kind of spin so that they stay funny. So Eggman contemplates that, I hope you don't like oxygen because it's in short supply in there. When Sonic uses the mech to punch through the force field, and then he then he knocks the Eggmobile out of the sky and slams Eggman against a rock wall hard enough to leave an impression of Eggman's body. Eggman tries to apologize and say that he never really intended to leave him in there. He was going to call for help. It would sound like this. Help! He calls for help so loud that his goggles fly off his head. And and Sonic's eyes glow red as he brings the robot's wrist cannons to bear on Eggman. So Sonic's friends all manage to talk him down, and Eggman crawls away to his mech. Like, I know I make the excuse that I need to go do my laundry a lot, but I really have to do my laundry this time. Like, he totally soiled himself in terror. Alright, so Sonic really likes the mech suit, and he starts walking around town in it all the time. So he muscles his way to the front of lines. He smashes people that get in his way. And there's a point where there's two like, it turns out that he's walking with Amy, and then he says, "Hey Amy, check it out, twins. Hey Percy, hey Stacy," and they wave at him. Percy and Stacy. Yes! Confirmation! There actually is more than one Lilac Bandicoot wandering around. Oh, if you're wondering why this hasn't been sent to the winner of the raffle yet, it's because he told me not to mail them because he's gonna come pick them up. So until he comes to get them, they're here in the house. But that was hilarious. Like confirmation that there actually is more than one Percy out there, or Percy has siblings that look exactly like her. We have an Officer Jenny Nurse Joy situation. Oh yes, now if only we can get proof that there's actually that she actually has 4 or 5 identical siblings. Okay, so I'm wondering how he knew the other one was Stacy. Oh, I guess this isn't the only time that we've seen 2 Bandicoots on the screen at the same time. After all, when Knuckles had his Buckethead phase, he was also walking with them. I guess Percy and Stacy are just kind of hangers-on. Although there's no real proof that those twins were Percy and Stacy, they could have been 2 other siblings. And now my headcanon is full of a gigantic family of Lilac Bandicoot girls. After all, most mammals do reproduce in litters, and I'm pretty sure Bandicoots do that. I suppose I could Google if Bandicoots reproduce in litters right now, but you don't want to see me Google search something right now. So everybody notices that the mech suit is kind of making Sonic act weird. So they go back to the cave to investigate what's going on. Amy momentarily brags about her expertise in the field of archaeology, and for them not to feel jealous if she finds anything and they can't. To which Knuckles immediately finds a giant chest of gold doubloons, Styx finds a Triceratops skull, and Tails finds the schematics for the mech suit that Sonic's been wearing. And this is where we find out that the mech suit is it's basically the Venom symbiote from Spider-Man in the form of a robot suit. I'm wondering if this affects the mech suit that Mike has been using. Basically, the suit is symbiotic. It enhances the wearer's abilities, but like a mech suit, but it also slowly takes over their mind, making them more aggressive and violent. So when they confront Sonic about this, he says that they're just that he thought that they were his friends, but they're just jealous and trying to get him away from his sweet suit. So he flies away and proposes teaming up with Eggman. So he goes to knock on Eggman's door in the mech suit, and when he doesn't answer right away, he punches a hole. When Eggman says hello through the hole in his doorway, Sonic proposes a partnership, to which Eggman says, "I'll have to think about this." And then we get a mini montage where Eggman sees Sonic in the mech suit and him doing all kinds of things, and even growing old and retiring together with gray mustaches. And the mech suit has its own mustache. I mean, Sonic has a mustache, the mech suit has a mustache, and then Eggman has a mustache, and it's turned white because they're all really old. So it says, yeah, I think that would be awesome. Let's partner up. So Eggman and Sonic go back to the village, and he says that he's going to hold the village for ransom for a ludicrous amount of money. and if he doesn't, then he's gonna blow the place up. The mayor says that he doesn't have to worry about the Eggman's threats because Sonic is just gonna come in and stop him. To which Sonic comes in the suit and says that they have 24 hours to pay the ransom or he'll personally blow him up with the suit's lasers. But he's talking me, and Eggman's trying to say, us, we. Sonic shoves him aside and blows a hole in the steps to the mayor's office and gives him the ultimatum. And then Eggman follows like, wait for me, Sonic. When they go back into the lair, Eggman says that the partnership is great, but Sonic is taking a bit too much credit. So he goes off he says, I just remembered I left my reason to be away machine on. So he goes talking to Cubot and Norbot about how he wishes he could steal the suit for himself so he could have all his power. Cubot says that that's not a very good idea. Why not? Because Sonic's been standing behind him the whole time. So it's like, Sonic! I was just testing the loyalty of my robot minions here. Yeah, bad minions. He swats them with a newspaper, to which Sonic doesn't believe him for a second and starts attacking. Eggman manages to escape through a vacuum tube and flies away in his Eggmobile, but Sonic gives chase, blasts the Eggmobile out of the sky, and starts throwing Eggman around. He walks up to the mayor and demands a ransom, to which the mayor says, I thought I had 24 hours. Fortunately, this is when Sonic's friends intervene. They all try to fight him. At first, Knuckles doesn't want to fight Sonic, which is a nice little throwback to last week's episode when Knuckles went rogue and none of them wanted to fight him. But just as soon as he says that he doesn't want to fight, Sonic punches Knuckles away. On second thought, I'm okay with it. So everybody tries to go up. Styx comes at him with a quarterstaff, and it's pretty cool seeing how Styx uses a new weapon every week. Like they get you to think that the boomerang is her signature weapon, but she has a new thing every week. She's just a weapons expert. So they fight. Everybody fights, but they keep getting knocked away or blasted away easily because the suit's that powerful. Plus, it has an all-around shield that protects it from attacks. In the end, Knuckles manages to grab onto the thing's arm and uses his strength to hold on too hard for Sonic to shake him free. Using this distraction, Tails notes that the suit has a weakness, that its shield, he uses the schematic to show that it has a shield that protects from all sides, but when the blasters go to a full charge, it pulls power from the shields to do so, exposing it. So they figure if they can get Sonic to charge up the cannon, then Tails can jump into the cockpit and remove the symbiote chip, releasing Sonic from the suit's mind control. So Styx runs up to confront Sonic. At first Styx said she wanted to retire to her Doomsday Shelter, but when they come up with the workable plan, Styx says, I'm never going to get to use that Doomsday Shelter. Earlier in the episode, Styx had another hilarious line when she sees, the Illuminati, the reptile people, the League of Ventriloquists? Who said that? You did. That's what they want you to think. It's been a long time since Styx said something really crazy. I find out it's funny how much I miss it. Styx always has background crazy levels, but to actually just hear her say something nuts. I think she hadn't said something since the Dreamcaster. Okay, so going on, Styx manages to get Sonic frustrated enough that he starts to charge up the suit to full power, and you can see the shields deactivate. So Amy uses her hammer to fling Tails into the mech suit, where he manages to pull out the symbiote chip, knocking Sonic into a momentary stupor. And he's like, what happened? So Sonic claims that while he was in the suit, everything was all fuzzy and didn't make any sense. And Knuckles says, welcome to my world. So they smash the symbiote chip, and Sonic says that the suit could probably come in handy other times. Although they just walk away, leaving it completely unguarded. With Eggman literally 15 feet away! Just because he's off screen does not mean he's not within eyesight! What the... I would have liked to think that removing the symbiote chip made the suit not work. But, And so Amy asks Sonic if it's true that he doesn't really remember anything from being in the suit, and he claims that not really, which is that even the twins, haha, I remember the twins. I mean how much I don't like them. And that's where the episode ends. Like I said, this episode was really cool, and I love that mech. It's awesome looking. It kind of reminds me of Silver Sonic from the from the Death Egg Zone in Sonic 2 and the Angel Island Zone in Sonic and Knuckles. Like, it's just a really cool thing. Like aside from the whole rows of spines things, like when it needs to move fast, it even brings out roller skate wheels the same way that Mecha Sonic does in the games, and it's a really cool design. It looks awesome. Although it still leaves me to wonder, like we already have a kind of gimmick with there's a mech suit built by the Ancients that's being co-opted by a show's villain, like Mike from last week's episode. Although, like, again, it must be that Mike's suit must be like an inferior version of this. Like, the one that Mike uses was probably a low-level grunt suit, or maybe something purpose for, say, construction work, which he's only using as a weapon. Well, this was a true battle suit, something the Ancients made when they go to war. Yeah, so it's a kind of a cool design. And it's nice to see that they're doing a little bit of world building with the Ancients. I'd like to see, because like they didn't really do that much exploration with it, like all that much at all. So it's cool. It's cool to see that you can bring this up, even if it is just a little more than a plot device. Yeah. So overall, this episode was yeah, like I said, it's really really cool in a lot of ways. Even though they make that jab at the fourth wall about how you're reusing ideas, taking inspiration from past ideas is not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually this show is actually basically a case study of that. They say that they want original IPs that always come around, but the reality is that there's just as much joy to be gleaned from adapting things that we've already seen before. There's always ways to get new spins on old ideas. There's nothing wrong with that. Just as long as you're not using them like a complete crutch. So yeah, I guess that's everything I have to say about this episode. This was a really great one. It had incredibly good action scenes, 2 really good chase sequences, and Sonic as the villain trope was really darn impressive. I mean, it's very, very rare that we see Sonic play the part of the villain. I think it was done once in the old Sad AM cartoon where he had a case of amnesia, which was adapted in the comic book, so I'm going to count that as the same thing. I think, you know what? I can only really think of that. Yeah, so, unless you're going to count the time when Sonic went Dark Supersonic in Sonic X, that's not really him going evil, that's just him giving in to temptation and utilizing a dark power, but it didn't really turn him evil. So, we so rarely get to see Sonic on the bad guy side. It was pretty cool. And oh yes, the famous issue 39, Sonic got roboticized. I know someone's gonna mention that. But yeah, this was fantastic. Like it yeah, it's a trope. Yes, it's a trope that's pretty common, but it's rare in any kind of Sonic continuity. So everything's awesome. Everything is awesome. Seriously, this is probably one of my favorites of the season so far. This is Wake Angel 2001, and I will see you next time.